Hello to anyone who decides that they want to follow me on this journey. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm about to do something horrifying. My name is Elise. I live in northern New Jersey, and this thing that I'm about to do is so terrifying that I can barely say it. In fact, doing this thing is the only thing that would ever get me to make a video like this. So as much as it makes me sick, I have to do it. I have to kill my lawn. So not all of it, but a lot of it. Everywhere you see these lime green patches of tall, pretty grass. Looks lovely, right? It's growing so much faster than all the other grass around. It's not lovely. It's horrible. It's rough stalk bluegrass, or Poa trivialis. And the only way to kill it is with an herbicide that kills everything. And that means it's going to kill my pretty grass too. And that's what makes this so terrible. So to give you some background as to why this is so particularly awful for me right now, I want to share a little bit of my history with this lawn. So I've always loved doing the mowing and the landscaping, edging, trimming the trees, trimming the bushes, everywhere that we've lived. But I never really knew anything about lawn care specifically, except from what I learned from Hank Hill. But we bought this house in 2018, and I said to myself, hey, I can put down weed and feed over this 20,000 square feet of turf. I have no idea what these numbers mean on these bags, but it's got to be what I need, or they wouldn't sell it at Home Depot, right? So what that meant is that pretty soon we had a horrible crabgrass problem and other various weeds, and I was super embarrassed because we looked like hobos compared to our neighbors. We had beautiful grass, crabgrass, and terribleness, and then beautiful grass next door again. So we decided to bite the bullet, pay the money, and have a service come out and take care of our fertilizing and weed control. And it really did turn around really fast. So that was great, no problem. Fast forward to July of 2024, and I started to realize that this kind of area in the front that I thought had just kind of gone dormant for the summer actually looked really dead. And it looked like it was getting bigger and bigger. And pretty soon it was probably all the different spots combined was about a quarter at least, maybe even a third of our entire front lawn. And it was brown, almost black in some spots. And I was like, okay, this isn't getting any better like it usually does. So on August 1st, 2024, I dragged my hose out from the side of the house all the way over to this spot, the really worst spot in the front yard, and decided I was just going to soak it with water. So I'm standing there holding this hose, and I'd been there for a couple minutes when my neighbor Al walks over from across the street and says, "Oh, that's not going to help." And I didn't even know what to do. So on that day, August 1st, 2024, at 2:59 p.m., I made my first grass-related Google search. I searched repair drought damaged lawn. So honestly, now I think it was probably either gray leaf spot or something else, some other kind of fungus disease issue. But I didn't even know that kind of thing existed at the time. So I'll never know what it is, and honestly, it doesn't even really matter. I wish I could know, but it's lost to time. But the solution was going to be the same. I needed to dethatch, aerate, overseed, or just completely reseeding in some areas. I needed to put some cover down where it sloped out in the front, and I needed to hand water this new seed because I have no irrigation anywhere in the front, back, or side. And let me tell you, summer of 2024, we had a legit drought in New Jersey. But it worked. I did my research. I put in the time and effort. I watched a million YouTube videos and read a lot of literature, and it really paid off. So that first year in 2024, I overseeded with Daybreak Turf Type Tall Fescue from Twin City Seed, who are amazing. And then this past fall, I used Resilience 2 from Twin City Seed to get some biodiversity as they suggested. And I was psyched for spring. I couldn't wait to get out there and mow and edge and do all the fun stuff and have it look beautiful again. I really was, like we all are, I was excited to see the results of my hard work from the fall. And that's why this is so devastating. So last year, I'm still new. I'm still brand new at all this stuff. Last year, I was really new at this. I don't remember seeing the triv, seeing it as a problem. I'm sure it was there. I'm sure it's been there for years. And I didn't notice it. I didn't know what it was. But this year, I know what it is, and I see it, and it's everywhere. And it's heartbreaking. So anyway, I diagnosed it myself, but I don't trust myself because I'm new. So I took some pictures and I posted them to a couple Facebook groups that are run by some YouTubers that I follow. And Brad Annis from Primetime Fescue, the man himself, actually responded to my post and said I was right and that I needed to man up and take care of business and do what needs to be done. So that's what I'm doing. So today is April 23rd, and I've decided this is the time to do it because it's actively growing. I don't want to wait until the fall in August when I'm going to overseed or reseed because it'll probably still be dormant, whatever would still be there. And I don't want to wait another month until May because it's just going to keep growing from now until then, and I don't know if I'll really sleep at night. So I don't want it to spread. So this is the time. So thankfully, the front yard seems to be spared except for a little patch by one of the trees. But the front yard must be getting just the right amount of water and sunlight it's a good, healthy turf. And that's the moneymaker, right? That's what everybody else sees. It's just me and my husband that see the backyard, and it's just the neighbors who see the side yard, and they don't care. So in the side yard, along this swale that divides us from the neighbors, it's pretty thick and dense turf, and it stays pretty wet, so that helps the triv to grow. And that's the purpose of the swale, right? It channels all the water that's coming down from the hills behind the house. So we're going to have triv there. In my backyard, the soil, I'm guessing, is probably just a cheaper fill dirt than the front. It also doesn't get as much sun because we back up to the woods. It's always getting trampled by deer and even bears and all the other wildlife that's there in the woods. And so all of that put together has made it really tough to get good thick turf in the back, even though I've tried these past couple years, like really, really tried. But it also means that it's a great place for the triv to spread. I do have some Poa annua, like not very much, just really, I've only seen like maybe 2 plants. So I'm going to pull that out, but just to cover all my bases, I'm going to use ethofumicate as a pre-emergent in the fall because it'll be safe for my fescue seed and it should take care of any Poa annua that has germinated or will try to germinate. Anyway, so here are my tools. I've got the 41% glyphosate that Brad suggested. He said to mix it with 4 ounces per gallon of water, and that's a heavier mixture than I see online, but I'm going to trust Brad. He tells me that's what to do, and that's what I'm going to do. Mix it also with a surfactant and spray it. Go 6 to 8 inches around the outside, which absolutely breaks my heart, but you got to do it because that's the stolons go where you don't see them. Anyway, so spray it and then 2 weeks spray it again. Brad didn't say anything about how much I should cry, but I'm guessing pretty regularly over the summer as I look at these dead spots in my lawn. So I also got some blue dye so I can make sure I'm getting all of it plus the 8 inches around. All the reviews talk about how messy the dye is, so I'm ready with clothes that I don't care about, latex gloves, a couple pairs of socks, like that. I also got a new pump sprayer that's solely devoted to the gly. The blue dye is tough because it means I can't mix up a lot and then be able to use it on our rock landscaping or the pavers or anything because it'll dye those. So I hope that my goal is to mix just as much as I'm going to need to use on these spots, a gallon at a time. And then hopefully I'll be able to rinse out the blue dye so that it can just be a regular glyphosate sprayer. Anyway, so a gallon is supposed to cover about 300 square feet at the rate that I'm putting it down, but I can't even begin to guess how much all these areas are going to be added up. I don't have a clue. So again, I'm just going to go a gallon at a time. I know it's going to be at least 300 square feet. So, but I don't want to create any environmental issues. So that's where we are right now. That's the plan. Follow along with me. Let's see what happens. And hopefully at the end of all this, I'll have beautiful lawn again, probably about September. So we've got a few months of tears and frustration and maybe a little fear. And, but we've got hope for the future. So let's see what happens.